Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are out with the tractor and tanker getting some slurry out. We are slurrying grazing ground, and yeah, it's down where we've heifers grazing. We're down just trying to get a coat on. The heifers have been moved down into a different section of the ground, and we just want to get a nice coating of slurry down on the rest of it and get it growing. We have got some rain today, a little bit, which, to be honest, I didn't really want to see till later on, because the field that we're going into has quite a steep hill in it, and after the ground being very dry for quite a while, yeah, we're now going to have I think the ground might, this hill could be a little bit on the greasy side. Now, I was down slurrying here yesterday, and the gate looks to have blown closed. So when we try pushing it open with the wheel, will it push open with the wheel? I think it will. No cars coming, we're in no rush. We'll just make sure that it doesn't bounce back closed again. It looks like it's going to sit there. So yeah, it's quite a steep hill in this. And as I say, I expect it to be a little bit on the greasy side, so we're going to have to be careful. I had a very near one in this field many years ago. I think I told the story on YouTube before, maybe a number of years back, but probably a lot of the followers that I have now didn't hear it. We used to, way back 25 years ago, when I was only out starting to drive myself and do a bit of slurrying and a bit of tractor work, our slurrying outfit was a 2130, John Deere 2130 two-wheel drive, and a 1300 gallon tanker. So we've come on a little bit from that, but I remember coming up this hill here. The camera actually doesn't really do it justice, just how steep it is. Coming up this hill, and about 3/4 way up it, the 2130 decided I can't get up this anymore. And I thought I had enough out of the tanker that it would have made it over it, because it had made it up past an almost as steep a position the time before. And I clutched the tanker, put my foot in the brake, and the tanker just pulled the tractor back down the hill. I had a loader on the tractor and it was up, and it's just, as it came down the hill, the tractor started to swing round, and the whole tractor came round like a pendulum and face down. I was facing the opposite way by the time it stopped, and the tractor kind of done one of those things where it up on two wheels for a second and then just sat back down. I shit myself. So I did. So that happened there on that hill. So we don't want a recreation of anything like that, or a tanker rolling over, even though it would probably make for very good content, and we'll probably get about 2 million views. So we don't want to do that. So we'll get this slurried anyway, and see how we get on. The bit of rain is badly wanted, really. You know, it'll certainly help grass growth. So yeah, we're crying out for a wee bit of rain at this stage. Yeah, but we'll see. I don't think it's going to do very much in the next 3 or 4 days anyway. There's to be bits of showers like what we've had now, but nothing major. So anyway, we'll get slurrying on this, and I'll take you with me on the hill and we'll see how it goes on it. But I'm a little nervous of it. When the ground has been this dry, and we've had dry weather for so long, and a little spit of rain comes like that, it can just get a wee bit greasy very quickly. Alright, so we're going to start with the first load at the bottom of this hill. So you can kind of see we're down below it at the minute. And I've just reversed in here. And my plan is, we'll get moving. Now, we get moving along here. I don't want to go too close to the bottom, and I'll tell you why now in a second. We'll just drop down an AB line along here and kind of steer it to where we want it. Yeah, I'm not going to go too close to the bottom ditch, because one, there's a drain when you get up here a little bit, so we want to be a little bit away from that. And two, I want to have a bit of an area where I can drive back along, because when you come up this side and empty out, you usually have to come back down then along this drain and come back up the field. So there's a bit of a tactical plan to get this field slurried without leaving the tractor outside and cutting up the whole field. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Yeah, trying to put on roughly about 2,000 gallons to the acre. So yeah, there shouldn't be too much of a hassle. We're travelling along at about 9 kilometres an hour. Slurry is quite watery. It was there's a lot of water and effluent has run into it from both from the silage pit and even just yard water has run into this tank. So it's quite nice slurry now to be putting out the dribble bow. So yeah, anyway, we'll keep going, and when we get up on the hill I'll take you with me and show you how we're getting on. Right, so after running a full run whole way along the field here, we are now going to just get the tractor in position, and we'll not start spreading until we get over to the hill, and hopefully we'll have enough slurry then in the tanker to take us right the whole way over on the side of the hill here. So we'll see. We could run out maybe beforehand, but we'll know better then for the next run actually how much that it can do. So we're back spreading again, and this is not the steepest end of the field, as you can see when you get up. The next run's steeper, and the one above that is even steeper again. So but it'll give us a good idea just how much slurry that we have in after it does one run along the field, and we can judge it. So not enough is the answer. So we're going to have to come back here again, which is not what I wanted, because we're empty. So we're just letting the tanker just blow out the last of the slurry. The vacuum end of it can blow out the pipes. So basically now what we have to do is less than a full run across, start at the bottom of the hill and come on up. You can see we're not that far from the ditch, so yeah, about 3/4 of a run across, and then we can attack the hill and come up the hill, and there'll be enough just to finish off as we get to the far ditch, if you know what I mean. So it's a bit of a trial and error, but we'll get there. And the gate has blew over again, so I'm going to have to get out and prop that. Alright, so we're coming up to the steepest part of this hill, just for climbing up it. So do you ever just have one of them days where no matter what you've done, everything seemed to just go wrong? Really, since the gate blew over on the first load when I was coming back up to it, from then on the whole thing has just kind of went wrong. The next load I went back to the yard, I went to suck out the load of slurry, and the load of slurry, it sucked it in alright, and I took the pipe off and it didn't seem too bad, but a whole thick lump had come up and it sucked up. Took a wee bit longer than usual to fill. Past no remarks of it. Tanker was filled with thick slurry. Emptied it out about 2/3 of the way, driving down the field slowly, plopping out on the ground, then it wouldn't empty any more out of it. So that was the start of it. So then I put the mixer on the 3650 and go and start mixing another tank, because there's water needed drawn into that one now. So mixed the other tank, got that done, no problem. Filled a load of slurry in it, back down to the field, started spreading the load of slurry, nothing to come out of the tank. The whole thing at the back end of the dribble bar is blocked up. So in about 20 minutes then, vacuuming up the tank, about pressurising it, trying to blow it out, letting the pressure off, reversing it then and putting the vacuum on it to suck back in, opening everything up, and it eventually cleared itself and sucked everything back in, and then got itself working after about 20 minutes. In the meantime, it had rained quite heavy. The hill was nearly impassable to come over it. Tried to record it as it was coming over the hill, would have made for a bit of interesting footage with the tractor sliding and the tanker going round nearly sideways on it. GoPro turned off, said the battery was low even though it was at like 50%. Put another battery in that was at 80%. I haven't charged it in a few days, this battery. It turned itself off, and then two other batteries turned themselves off. That kind of took us up then, right up until the evening time. We've got a few more loads done then. I had no batteries then, or no way to make any video, and I'm just after getting this charged right, so I'm getting dinner. I had a load maybe a load and a half to finish off here. I've started spreading it, got that done, put the battery in here, and as I'm putting the battery in, for some reason the tanker has opened itself up and put a load of slurry here on the top, on the field. I should just give up and went and done something else today. Anyway, we'll finish off this field. I'm going to finish it today if it kills me. So we're going to finish off this field, and then we're going to be reseeding in the morning. So one of those days I'm finished. Thank bloody God. Anyway, not doing any more video until morning. Harrow will be going on, and we're going to go start doing some of our reseeding. And let's hope it goes a bit better than today did. So next day, and we didn't or aren't getting going as early at the reseeding as we would have liked, which means it's not going to be all done in this video, unfortunately. But we are going to get going on it. We had a nice little bit of rain overnight and early this morning, so that has just slowed us from getting going. Now it has been quite dry, really the last 4 or 5 hours. And as I say that, there's actually a couple of little spits of rain on the window, but I don't think it's going to do much. It's supposed to stay dry now. Today is Saturday and tomorrow Sunday, so we'll just have to see. If it does stay dry, we should get this done. Alright, so we're up and running, and we're getting through the field quite nicely. We have a nice section of it done. It's harrowing up very, very well. Lovely level job being done on it. The ploughing is quite level. The field ploughed up well. Sods is more or less all covered, a few just in odd places, but they're kind of lay over in such a way that when you give them a run in the harrow, it's just pushing them over the last bit and burying most of the sods. There's very little sods left on it. So it's doing a good job, and just looking at it, I thought it might need 2 runs of the harrow. I think we're going to get away with 1, which would be great. If it does need a run of anything else, just to help to level out any little holes or anything, we should be able to get away with leveling it with the land leveler. So yeah, if it needs a run of that, it's not the end of the world. You can travel quite quickly with it, and it also does a good job. So yeah, no, it's doing a nice job. There is some stones throughout the field. They are mostly big ones. Dad is here at the minute with the teleport. He's just gone round with the stone fork, gathering up any that he sees. I see one here, so what I'll do is I drive right around it, and it kind of just leaves it. See it there? It's quite a big stone, so I can just drive around it and leave that piece, and then he'll see that I've left it out, and he can just go over and pick it up. But yeah, overall it's not too bad at all. Any marks or anything he puts in it, I can give it another run of the harrow anyway, just to kind of level it out. But yeah, it'd be nice to get this done and dusted, because we have 6 acres here in this field, and then there's also another 8 acres that we have to do, and it all has to be done by the 24th of July, as it's going into the red clover scheme. There's a scheme there for red clover where they will give, the Department of Agriculture gives you some money to grow it. There is some benefits to red clover. It doesn't make the greatest silage ever, but the benefits of it is it sequestrates a bit more carbon than ordinary grass. It takes nitrogen out of the atmosphere, which it then can use to help itself grow, and you need less fertilizer to grow it. And it's also good for soil structure in the ground that you grow it in. So there is a few benefits to it, and this is why they're pushing it. So we're going to try it. We'll see what it's like. We'll get it in here in this 6 acres and the 8 acres at home, and we'll see how it goes. So we'll be interested to see. We might, if it grows well, we might put it into the silage pit later on in the year. If not, we'll maybe cut it for bales. We'll see. It just depends what way it grows and what time of the year it's coming in at. But yeah, it's just something a wee bit different. We haven't grown it before, and and we're going to give it a try and see how it goes. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, Dad has to come back over with he's going to lift a few stones, and then as far as I know he's going to come back over then with the 2850 and fertiliser spreader, and we have to put a wee bit of compound out in it as well. So yeah, that has to be done too. So pushing on, and we get this done as quickly as we can and get as much done today as possible. Right, so we'll voice over on this part of the video. So we're getting on well at this stage. We'd given the whole field one run, and it had done a really good job, and it had levelled out the soil very well. But I was left down with the choice of, do I give another run the power harrow, or will I go home and get the land leveller and give it a run the land leveller? And I decided then to give it a second run the power harrow. And what I'd done was I rizzed the power harrow up slightly from what it had been working at originally. Not very much, but just rizz it up maybe that it was maybe an inch or an inch and a half less in the ground. And I crossed, so I started off along this ditch here actually that I'm going down along. I started off along that ditch initially. But on the second run, I started along the other ditch. So it just gave you a slightly different angle of direction when I was going up and down the field. And it meant that I was crossing over the first run that I'd given it. So by crossing it over, I was kind of pulling the soil in a different direction, and it would have filled even more of the little holes or ruts or anything that was left in the field from that was left after the first run. So it basically left it like a plate. It was a great job. And by rising it up slightly, I was travelling at around 10 to 11 kilometres an hour, given it the second run. Stones were all basically lifted at this stage, even though it did pull up a few more stones that had to go back, but they were all smaller ones. The big stones were all lifted, and I was just able to fly up and down the field, and I'd done the second run in about half the time. So, worked out well. 2850 was on the fertiliser spreader. We still haven't got our fertiliser spreader fixed, so that's why we have the Amazon's, or not the Amazon spreaders, the Amazon spreader's broke. That's why we have the Viking spreader on. It's actually a friend of ours that owns it, so we got a loan of it just to put on the, we put on tons of the acre of compound fertiliser. It didn't even need that, we just put on the wee bit extra just to use up what was in the bags. And yeah, simple enough job, simple enough operation, and not exactly much bother on the 2850. David Brown probably would have done it no problem, but Dad just said he was going to take the 2850, and it was nice to have it out and get a wee bit of footage of a walking for the second time in a week. So I have a feeling it'll be out a bit more over the summer, doing different bits and pieces of jobs. So, which is good to see, because it kind of was a little bit quiet over the last year or so. But yeah, happy to have the field ready. It didn't take long. We were only over there from about 2 o'clock until I think we're finished just shortly after 6. So 4 hours got it ready. We got it done really quickly. Conditions were unbelievable. The difference in doing this job in the dry and when it's damp or wet is just there's no comparison. So alright, so we're nearly there. We're down to the last couple of bits, just finishing off. Okay, you might think I'm just driving around the field in circles, but I'm actually taking some tracks out of it that the teleporter left. The teleporter it's quite heavy. I think it's around 7.5 or look, it could be with the likes of the stone fork on it, it could be weighing in at close to 8 ton. So yeah, look, it's just quite heavy, so you want to take the likes of them tracks out of it, not to have too much compaction in anywhere that it drove. But I'm nearly there, just finishing off the last couple of bits. Yeah, basically when I was finished around the headlands, Dad was finishing off a bit of fertiliser, and I just went around gathering up. I had a good idea where some of the bigger stones was, and went around, gathered up the stones, and that's where the tracks come from. The 2850s tracks, it's nothing to worry about. I wouldn't be too worried about it at all, because you can hardly even see them there. Like they're there, but they're not bad. So it's more or less ready. I think we'll have the seeding bit of the video in the next video. I think we'll leave it at that, because it's Saturday evening, and I'm not sure in the morning what time that our contractor's coming to do the bit of seeding at. So yeah, we'll leave it in the next video. Yeah, I'll let you know how we get on. We have to get it seeded, and then we'll be rolling it as well. So I'll take you along for that whenever it happens. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions or comments, don't forget to leave them in the comment section down below. And as always, I will try to get back to some of them, and I do read them all, and all comments are very much appreciated. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. I would be very grateful if you could do that. So until the midweek video, have a good weekend, and we'll see you in the next one.